All right, breaking news, and this is really good news, an opportunity for me to say, man, I hope that Turkey Al-Sheikh actually gets this done, because word is coming out that there is a 4-man tournament that he is trying to set up, I presume, in the 147-pound division, which would have some of the biggest names in boxing. And I love it. Now, let's talk about that and how I think it's going to play out in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So let's get right into this. Jaron Ennis, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, and Ryan Garcia could be all on the same card, fighting each other. Jaron Ennis versus Teofimo Lopez, and Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. Before I get into the details, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. Hit the subscribe button, and if you don't mind, hit that super thanks. It's a great way to continue to support content creators that you like in a very, very saturated market. So thank you guys very much for all your support. But let's get into this. Shout out, by the way, to Shoney D. Good to see you doing well. I am certainly hoping that what came out on Twitter this morning is true. That Turkey Al-Sheikh has announced, His High Holiness, has announced that he wants a 4-man tournament. Jaron Ennis versus Teofimo Lopez. And then Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney rematch. On a card in May. Now, if that can happen, I would love it. The test for getting that done, I am going to definitely watch and see if Turkey Al-Sheikh can pull that off. And why do I say that? Because it's career suicide for everybody not named Jaron Ennis. I don't see Jaron Ennis and Teofimo Lopez being a close fight at all. I don't see Teofimo Lopez getting out of that fight. I see Teofimo Lopez getting thumped and getting stopped in that fight. After that, you'll have Ryan Garcia, because I'm going to suppose that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney will be the, rematch would be the headline fight and not the Teofimo Lopez, Jaron Ennis one. You would get Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Now, let's just assume, let's go to the first fight. Teofimo Lopez is absolutely positively a sitting duck for Jaron Ennis. He does not have a single solitary advantage on Jaron Ennis, and Jaron Ennis is more than likely going to thump him, and Teofimo Lopez's daddy knows it, and so does Teofimo Lopez. I don't care what they say. Now, if they don't have anywhere else to go or any way other to make money, then yeah, okay, maybe they'll take that fight. But if they have anything that seems anywhere near as good a deal, they're going to go and take that other deal. There's also an issue with Teofimo Lopez. That Teofimo Lopez is not free from Bob Arum. And depending on how many fights he has, Bob Arum may not be willing to feed Teofimo Lopez to Jaron Ennis. But let's assume that the fight takes place and it goes as I think it goes. Hey, man, that's a really big win for Jaron Ennis, and it grows Jaron Ennis' status. Now, the next fight, which is the last fight that they fought, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, took place in the welterweight division where they weighed 143 pounds. So let's just assume Devin wins that. Devin will not fight Jaron Ennis. Devin will pull out of that and go do something else and claim he's too big a star or something else before he gets the brakes beat off of him by Jaron Ennis, because Jaron Ennis will beat the brakes off of him. I don't understand. I mean, you can go through your technical analysis and talk about how he didn't stop Karen Kukadajian. He went the distance with Karen Kukadajian twice. Look, Devin Haney's not Karen Kukadajian. He's not that big. Karen Kukadajian looks like he could easily be a middleweight. He's significantly looks significantly bigger than Jaron Ennis did. You guys aren't that big. And by the way, that dude fought super defensively and lost both fights. Barely. He won a couple rounds in the second one. And because he was more aggressive, he got his behind up off that canvas and got back to staying away. Devin, you're not going to get away from Jaron Ennis like that. He's not going to be able to fight that fight. And Jaron Ennis is just going to walk to him because he can't hurt him. Jaron Ennis, Devin Haney doesn't have the capacity to hurt him. So yeah, that's a slaughter. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. That's going to be a no. I mean, if it happens, now let's imagine let's say that Ryan beats Devin. Then, okay, I believe that fight will happen because Ryan Garcia is nuts. So just like me, I'm not calling him bad. I'm not calling him anything I'm not willing to take on myself. As somebody that's certified nuts, that boy is nuts. So he's going to go in there and try to do his thing against Jaron Ennis, and he's still going to get knocked out. But if they can make those fights happen, I love it. I love it. It's something that's good because none of them want to be at 140. Teofimo Lopez does not want to fight at 140 anymore. He's sick of trying to squeeze his body down. Devin probably cannot make 140 anymore without doing, I don't know what he does to get down to that weight. Ryan Garcia has already said that he's not going to be able to do it. Now, those guys are barely at 140 now. So you know that Gervonta Davis, who was the big cash fight for those three, you know that he's not going to go up to 147 pounds to fight these guys, especially if Jaron Ennis is the one that pops up out of that, because, man, Gervonta Davis would be in a world of trouble with Jaron Ennis. That whole division and anybody below that division is going to have a terrible time with that guy. But if Terry Al-Ashik can do it and Eddie Hearn can do it for Jaron Ennis, they will be pulling off something that only has one downside. On the upside, it could really make him the man in Black America. As far as boxing goes, it really could, especially if the fights are exciting, especially if they're exciting. But the problem is that if it's in Saudi Arabia, these fights are in Saudi Arabia, then they're on in the middle afternoon where people aren't watching them. And it's not like you're putting them on a CBS at 9:00 and giving it away for free, right? Which got fan bases for Errol Spence Jr., which helped fan bases for Gervonta. The whole dang thing worked together. But, that's too much right. I hope these fights get made. If I would say rating the chances of them happening, I'd give it a 4 out of 10. Because at this stage, it's just Turki Al-Ashik saying what he wants. Okay, this is what I want. So then you're now going to have to go and make sure that these fighters all want it and that all of the everything works out together. I think the only promotional issue, is Teofimo Lopez. But the other, Ryan, is with Golden Boy. That's already on DAZN. Devin is on with whatever Devin's on, but he's been fighting on DAZN. Teofimo Lopez is the issue because Teofimo Lopez still may be locked up in that deal because he said that he was going to go do something else before, but they were still tied down in a lawsuit. And Bob Arum is not, from what I understand, Bob Arum is not really somebody that is going to just let his investment that he put in on you just go away without being recouped. And Teofimo Lopez has really never said that he's really never made that much money. But if Turki Al-Ashik can come in and pay whatever it is that Teofimo Lopez needs, and maybe they can work it out that way. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.